Hi, I'm Becky Gibson. I'm a director with Rock On. I started Tupperware about 2.5 years ago. It was March 2017. I started because I was invited to a friend's party and I saw the Bell tumblers, the red and green and blue cups that, I grew up with fighting over with my sisters. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need those. And so I ordered those from my friend's party. And then I saw everything in the catalog that I grew up with in my kitchen. And nostalgia is pretty big with me. So I was like, I need it all. And so I reached out to the consultant, who was Valerie Kelly, who's now my upline director, my recruiter. And I said I wanted to have a party. So I had a party like the next week or 2 weeks later, something like that. And, at the end of my party, I had a pretty good party. It was, $400, $500 party. And I think the second level back then was $500. So, Valerie said, hey, you should try this. We'll get you this and this and this for the welcome gift. And I was like, well, what? I was like, I'm not doing any of that. Sales was the very last job that I ever would do. I loved customer service. I loved making those connections with people, but pushing people or, asking people to buy things from me just were not what I was going to do. So, I don't know why, but I decided, okay, I'm going to try this. I was already on Facebook all the time, so I might as well make money at it. I also was at the time on medical leave from work. I was having a lot of issues with movement on my right side and just pain and things like that, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So I was out of work, and I was also staying home with my son at the time. He was 3, I think, right? 2.5 years ago? Yeah, he would have been 3. Maybe 2.5. Or maybe 2. No, he would have been 3. Anyways, I had a young son that I was staying home with, and I felt like a failure because I wasn't contributing to my family. So I thought, maybe this will work. It probably won't. I'll probably fail, and then I'll go get a real job, but I'm going to try it. And I immediately started booking parties, and I had a party once a week for a few months, and then but as far as recruiting or anything like that, I had no interest. I wasn't going to do that. I was supplementing my family a little bit. That felt fine to me. As far as growing and making a career out of it, not that I didn't want to, it just wasn't. Having a career was never what I was going to do. A little background on me is I really struggled in school, really, really bad. I have ADD that I don't like to treat. I don't like the medications and stuff like that, so I don't treat it. And I have some really bad social anxiety. Back in school, I was bullied a lot for being gay. So I just really struggled in school. My mind was always distracted with other things. So having a career or anything like that just was never, ever, ever, ever in my cards. It just wasn't something I thought I could do. The only thing that I ever felt confident in doing was being a mom. All I've ever wanted to do was be a mom and be a wife and take care of a family. And, you know, I always said, if I have to, I'll go work to take care of my family, of course. But if I don't have to, I want to just be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to have a spouse that, you know, worked and everything, and I took care of the house. So anyways, I wasn't going to recruit or anything like that. And then Valerie, my director, earned her car, and Kirsten came out and delivered it like she does. And I remember everybody was so excited to meet her. They were all like fangirling her and everything, and I was like, well, she's just a person. You know, obviously she's our business leader, she's great, but, you know, I didn't really know how awesome our team was at the time. And I remember Kirsten reached out and asked if there was anybody that would be able to take her to her hotel afterwards. And nobody was offering. So I said, well, if you need a ride, of course, you know, I'll get you where you need to be. And so, all in my social anxiety, I hopped in the car with Kirsten, and had probably the most nerve-wracking hour of my life. Maybe not my life. I mean, and not necessarily that I was nervous to talk to her or anything, but I was more like, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew I was going to have answers for her. And also, again, I have ADD. So me driving for an hour and talking doesn't really work. I don't drive and talk very well. And I'm sitting there like, all right, I'm driving this lady. I got to get her where she's going. I got to not, like, run off the road. And then she's going to ask me all these questions about who I am and what I'm doing and what I want to do with my business. And, well, you know, so I pushed through that as best as I could, and ended up with Kirsten just giving me a hug at the hotel and telling me to get over myself. And I was like, what is she talking about? What do you mean get over myself? You know? But anyways, it obviously lit a fire under me. I was like, all right, I just saw somebody get a car. I'm going to get a car. You know, it might be 5 years from now. It might be a year from now. I'm going to get a car. And, you know, my business was pretty consistent by that point. I was partying every week. So I just continued doing what I was doing. And then I had somebody actually asked to join my team. My first recruit, she's still with me, Aurora. And I was like, wait, what? You want me to put you on my team? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but sure. And then I was later approached by another friend that wanted to join. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I guess maybe I need to try this recruiting thing. And so I went ahead and I started recruiting. I started talking to people, and it really was just simply like just talking about my experience, talking about the excitement I had about Tupperware. It wasn't going out and saying, hey, join my team. Hey, do this. You know, hey, this is what you can get. It was just them hearing me talk about it. And so then, you know, I just started recruiting. I started getting some people under me. I stepped up to manager by October then. So like 2 months after I met Kirsten. And then I feel like it was boom, boom, boom after that. I became a star manager pretty quickly. And then I stepped up to executive. And then I plateaued. That was it. And then, so then I was like, all right, I can do this. I'm going to become a director. I went to Jubilee the first year, and I got to meet Kirsten. I saw Kirsten, and then I met Janelle and Stephanie and Heidi. And I ended up meeting, you know, some of my best friends that I have now. You know, I love that I have all these friends and they're all across the country. Like literally all corners of the country. I have a friend now. And you know, I like to say now Tupperware friends are the best friends, and it's completely true. Like what I've been through in the past 2.5 years and the growth that I've had, it's all thanks to Tupperware and the relationships that I've made in it. So, another thing about my life in the past few years is I was in a pretty abusive and controlling marriage. My wife was pretty abusive physically and mentally towards me. She had some pretty bad mental health issues herself, and she ended up just taking a lot of it out on me. And I kind of had just said, well, this is my life. I married her. I've got a son that is legally my stepson, so I'm tied to her with that. And I just kind of threw my hands up and said, well, this is my life. I'm going to try to fix her, or I'm going to try to just suck it up and deal with it. Well, because, you know, I didn't have anything. I couldn't take care of myself. I was scared to take care of myself. I just thought I was stuck. So I dealt with it. Well, Tupperware has given me amazing relationships and shown me that I can be loved. And it's shown me how to gain confidence in myself. I hold myself completely differently than I did 2.5 years ago. I talk to people completely differently. I still have a lot of anxiety, social anxiety, but you want to talk to me about Tupperware, I'm going to talk to you about Tupperware. You know, I love the relationships I've not only made with my team and with all of Rock On, but then also my customers. You know, I love my customers. I love being able to walk around town now and people know who I am and they want to talk to me. And, you know, I don't look like your typical Tupperware lady, but I love that I can be different and I can show people that you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to be the most polished person when you're talking. You know, I feel like I'm really good at rambling and I'm really good at saying and all these things. So I love that I can show a real side and I can show that I'm a person, and I love connecting with my team and I love connecting with my customers. But anyways, back to, you know, I was stuck in this marriage that was abusive, and I wasn't telling anybody. I didn't even tell my mom or my sister or anybody because I just felt like, again, I was going to be a failure. And if I told somebody, they were going to make me do something about it. And I just knew I couldn't do anything, you know? I was stuck. And so after supplementing me for a while and all that stuff, as I became executive manager and I realized that I could do this, I could make a career out of this, I could become a director, which meant I could take care of myself. I set the goal for myself to become a director, and I said, once I become a director, I'm going to get out. So for the past year, while I was in the DIQ program, I finally admitted to my mom what was happening. I started opening up to some friends, and I opened up to some of our leaders in Tupperware. I went to Hemingway and gained a stronger relationship with Janelle and Kirsten, and eventually this summer I opened up to them about what was going on. And I felt like finally being able to speak it meant I was taking the steps of getting out. So now, 2.5 years after starting Tupperware and thinking I was stuck and that I couldn't go anywhere on my own, I mean, despite an abusive relationship, I just thought I was never going to have a career. But I did, or I do now, and I've now started the process of getting divorced. I have moved out, and I now live in my own house. I pay all my own bills, and it's all Tupperware. I don't have any other job. This is my only job. And I completely pay my rent and my utilities. I take care of me and my 6 animals. You know, a big fear of mine was always, oh, I can't go anywhere because I have 6 animals with me. You know, I have my pit bull over there. That's funny. That's actually a cat. That's a cat. That's a pit bull. But, you know, I had a pit bull, and a lot of people don't rent to people with pit bulls. I wasn't able to go to a domestic violence shelter, nothing. I was, you know, I had these animals. And, you know, so part of me staying was for them. I had to have a house for them. I couldn't leave them, and I wasn't willing to get rid of them or anything like that. So I was stuck. And now I have a house that I can provide for me and my animals. My son comes and stays with me now. And it's the greatest feeling in the entire world to be able to take care of myself and not rely on anyone else, not rely on anybody else for my livelihood, not have to put up with stuff anymore because I pay my bills. I take care of myself. And not only that, hopefully Kirsten's going to be showing up with my car in the next couple weeks. So I'm going to have my free car. You know, I actually had a car. I had bought myself a car and paid it off and everything. But then through my marriage, I ended up giving up my car. And we got a car together, which was my biggest fear. You know, the only thing I had in my life were my animals and my car. And letting go of that safety was the scariest thing in the world. But because of the control and manipulation that my ex had over me, I did it. And now I'm going to have my own car through Tupperware again. And I'm going to have my own car now again through Tupperware. So I earned my car, and then I earned my WOW trip to Hawaii. So I'm going to be taking my mom to Hawaii with me. So I'm really excited that I get to take her somewhere that she's always wanted to go. So, yeah. Just know that no matter who you are, where you come from, and where your mindset is, or, you know, you have social anxiety, you have whatever it is, we've been blessed with the greatest gift of the world by being put on this team. Rock On is #1 in the company, and we have amazing leaders that have paved a path for us. And I've just learned, if I just get up every day and I just do it, you know, there's days that I don't want to get out of bed. There's days that I have anxiety through the roof. There's days that I can't concentrate. But if I just go and I sit down at my desk and I just do one thing for my business every day, and then I look at my team who's relying on me and the opportunity that I have to offer them, because it was offered to me. You know, I love being able to extend my hand to my team and be able to just bless somebody else the way that I've been blessed by this company. So that's my story. So I hope that it helps somebody out there Yeah, so have a good night.